In the last class, we had done about segment, ray, and line. Let's quickly go through it again. We had done the definitions and everything related to it. Now look at the figures there. The first one is a segment AB. The second figure is ray AB. And the third figure is line EF. Now, as you know, a segment has two end points. So, a segment will be always named by using the two end points. Look at the figure there, segment AB. You can name this either as segment AB or segment BA, starting from any one of the end points. When we talk about a line, you can name a line by using two letters. You can name a line by using two letters. If you're using two letters to name a line, we take it as 2 points on the line. So as you can see in the figure, in the first figure, the line can be named as line AB or line BA, line AC or line CA, or you can name it as line BC or line CB. It means when you name a line by using two letters, you take those two as the points on the line and name it. If you're naming a line by using a single letter, the line is always named by using a small letter in that case. See the figure there? The second figure is line M. As you can see in the third figure here, there are different ways in which this line is named. It can be named as line M, or you can call this as line AB or line BA. When you name a ray, you always start from the point, the end point. Look at this ray. The first figure is ray AB, and the second figure is ray BA. Both these rays are different rays. It doesn't mean the same. If you write segment AB, you can also write it as segment BA. It means the same. Same way, for line AB can also be read as line BA. It means the same line. But in case of ray, it is not possible. It is absolutely wrong if you say ray AB and ray BA means the same. No. They are two different rays. So, whenever you name a ray, you always start from the end point there. So, in the first figure, I repeat, that's ray AB, and the second figure is ray BA. Next, we go to congruent segments. Two segments which are equal in length are called as congruent segments. As you can see in the figure, segment AB and segment CD are congruent to each other because their length are same. Look at this symbol of congruence. You have done this congruence in your lower class. Properties of congruent segments. Properties of congruent segments. The first property is reflexivity. Every segment is congruent to itself. Second, symmetry. If segment AB is congruent to segment CD, then segment CD is congruent to segment AB. Transitivity. If segment AB is congruent to CD and segment CD is congruent to segment EF, then we can say segment AB is congruent to segment EF. So transitivity, I'll say it with numbers so that you can understand it easily. If 1 congruent to 2 and 2 congruent to 3, then 1 will be congruent to 3. These are the 3 properties of congruent segments. Next, we did midpoint of a segment. Given a segment, the point on the segment which divides the segment into 2 equal parts is called the midpoint of the segment. So look at the figure there. A and C are the endpoints of the segment. B is a point on segment AC which divides the segment into 2 equal parts. So point B is called the midpoint of the segment. So if you look into this figure, we get the relation here. Point M divides segment AB into 2 equal parts. You can see the congruent markings there. So the relation what we get from here is length AM will be equal to length MB, and that will be equal to half of length AB. If we take an example, suppose if length AB is 6 centimeter, then length AM will be 3 centimeter and length MB will also be 3 centimeter. So 3 is half of 6. So this is the relation which we get from the concept of midpoint of a segment. Both the congruent parts will be equal to half the given segment. Next we did perpendicular lines. Lines which intersect each other at right angle are called perpendicular lines. In this figure, line AB and line XY intersect each other at right angle, so they are called perpendicular lines. This is the symbol we use for perpendicular. Here the example, line AB perpendicular to line XY. Look at this symbol which we use for perpendicular. Next, we did how to find the distance of a point from a line. How to find the distance of a point from a line. Look at the figure. Point A is outside line L. Now, if you want to find the distance of point A from line L, in this given figure, I have drawn various distances. AB, AC, AD, AE and AF. But the distance of the point from the line will always be the perpendicular distance. That means what you do is drop a perpendicular from point A to line L. The distance AD, look at that pink color line, is the perpendicular which is drawn from point A to line L. That distance, length AD, is the distance of point A from line L. So, in this figure, you can say CD perpendicular to AB. If CD is taken as A, then we say the distance of point C from line AB is A units. The distance of point C from line AB is A units.